up under, like, in my car where you put the aux cord. It was up under the mat. Also, and look, Nord, man, I had a friend, and I blamed her for taking them. She cussed me out so bad, like crazy, like it was sick.
So Tyler went to softball game with no AirPods, and this is part of his routine, and no eye contact lenses.
It was a terrible day.
And you still did fucking 21 points.
No, I ended up getting a contest though.
Yeah, but you still did 21 points. And remember what we were talking when we went for the headphones. Perform at your peak, Nori Kocharian, podcast especially for you, be at the moment. Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome, it's Norik here from podcast Perform at Your Peak. This is the second one. This time is with my guest. My guest today is a phenomenal basketball player, Tyler Cheese. He's from America, Albany, Georgia. And he's with me because during the daily basis we work and play and hustle in the same team in Lańcut. Tyler, welcome and thank you for joining me.
I want to say thank you for inviting me to your podcast. Let's have some fun.
Absolutely. Well, let's kickstart. So, your career really kicked off during your junior college. When did you actually start playing the basketball?
I was always into basketball growing up, like just playing for fun, but like I really started taking it serious like 13, 14, like when I started playing like competition outside of like my city. Played really good, like my first ever AAU game. And then I was like, man, like, cause I was in between different sports and I was just like, as a young kid, just trying to do everything, play football, like, you know, like do things like riding bikes with your friends and like just doing different hobbies and stuff. And basketball kind of pulled to me because I started having fun, and then like it was something I was actually good at, and I invested time, and I started playing around 13, 14.
Beautiful. You just said that, you know, you were sort of going about with different sports, and it's something quite usual for kids to start. They go swimming and they go playing football or soccer in here in Europe, obviously. But in some stage, you just said you were more happy and having fun with the basketball. When did it convert, let's just say, into the more, serious thing? Because I remember the day we met, and it was during the team presentation, and you said, I think we're going to have to chat quite a bit because I'm very competitive. And so the competitiveness starts when you really step away from just enjoying, but it becomes something serious. So when did it kick off more serious for yourself?
Basketball probably became like a business for me my sophomore year of junior college. That's when I really started like getting a lot of interest from like big name colleges, and just at that point in my life, I knew like, okay, I want to take basketball serious where I want to be making money from this someday. And so I was 20, 21 at the time. So that's when I started really like just making it real serious, and like this is my life at that point.
So knowing a bit of your story, obviously we had quite a few moments just talking a lot, and you know, and I always enjoy knowing more and more about yourself, and it's always a pleasure when, you know, the other person opens up. And you know, 21 is still young. A lot of, you know, kids or teenagers, let's just say, when they turn 21, they still don't realize how important is the future, you know, and especially with bit of a challenges you were through when you were younger. How come at that age you just pick up the importance of, you know, earning, investing, and, you know, just growing?
I would say around 13, 14 for me, me and my brother, my older brother, we had to kind of grow up faster than like an average kid would. Like it had some family stuff where me and my brother kind of was taking care of ourselves. Like my mom, she always like provided for us, put food on the table and stuff like that. But to really like want to live the life that we wanted to live, we had to do certain things to you know, make ends meet and things like that. So probably 13 or 14, I met my second dad, RIP, Michael. Him and his wife kind of took us in, and they really just taught us how to be a man, how to be responsible, how to treat people with respect, always look a man in the eye, shake the hand, like just, you know, how to move as a man, like in this world, like, you know how cold-hearted this world can be. So, like, before that, like, probably living in the fantasy land, like, and then, like, for me, like, the situations that happened with my mom and just all the stuff that we went through as, like, growing up and stuff, like, it just made us take life more serious and, like, I guess, like, just mature faster.
So it's quite unique what you said, because, you know, just being able to sort of, you know, adapt with different, let's say, environment, and then still being able to be open for learning new skills, values, knowledge, and, you know, as you said, getting the life as something important, not something just to joke about, more serious. It definitely helped you to develop like a self-discipline as well, you know, being away, because for about 3-4 years you've been away from home, really playing all around, having episodes in Italy, Germany, Finland, and last one was Estonia, and now we're here in Lańcut. So how important is self-discipline for yourself?
It's important because like, that's a tough one. Cause it's like, that meaning is like so much bigger than than anything that I would want to say. But like, discipline is really important because just the way I grew up and I saw what I saw, it was no discipline, like nobody taking responsibility for their actions and things like that. And I wanted to live a certain way. I wanted to do certain things. And I just know for me to do those certain things, I had to, you know, simple things like showing up on time, routines, habits, like, you know, just creating like a positive environment or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
You know, just.
So would you agree that seeing what you saw and experiencing it, you sort of took it, okay, I need to do the opposite because
for sure.
It's a bit of like a mess.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So it, you know, quite often, you know, we have those kind of things, like let's just call them challenges, let's just say, and experiences, and we take it as it is, right?
Yeah.
We, you know, I heard a lot of things that, you know, oh, we're in this environment, we're never going to grow, we're never going to do this, we're never going to achieve anything. And I always wanted to do the opposite, so step away from like a script, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we've been treated like a part of the script.
Yeah.
And if you're in that environment, you need to be exactly the same way. But from what I hear, what you said is you're not feared of challenges. Obviously, as an athlete, you're facing challenges every day, every game and outside of the game. What's the number one key thing about challenges? How do you see challenges, and what motivates you to, you know, attack them and overtake them?
I think the accomplishing the challenge, and then like just, I would say like being able to just control what you can control. Like I posted that today.
Love that, yes.
Like I think a lot of times people get too caught up on things that like out of their hands, and like, you know, things that's supposed to happen for you doesn't happen because you're worried about things that's not in your path. And I just try to stick to my path. And
accept the challenge, because one thing I heard, it's supposed to be about 2009-10, that, you know, when you think about success and you look aside and your challenge is below the success, it's not a success, it's just a luck.
Right.
But when the challenge is literally leveling your success, that means you're going in the right direction, because the challenge allows us to grow as well. But to understand that, something that back again in 2009, I learned how important it is. And then through my path to this day, when I talk to or work with a lot of phenomenal athletes, mostly West, they always say the gratitude is, being grateful for what you have, where you are, who you are, and how you are at that right moment is the key. It starts everything, it starts your day. How important is to be grateful and have that gratitude in your life?
Yeah, I think mine, just looking back at like my beginnings, where I started, like I got some humbling beginnings, like just like the houses I grew up in, like just looking back at like my childhood friends and like seeing where I'm at, seeing where they're at. Like, don't get me wrong, a lot of my childhood friends are like successful in their own like paths, but just like I'm a 27-year-old man that like play basketball to make money. I see the world. I go to different places, like, so doing that and just like doing what I love to do, like I'm just super grateful for that. And then like being able to, one day I'm gonna be able to get my mom out here, my brother, his kids, my sister, like my best friends, you know what I mean? So it just like, it's a humbling like experience and feeling for me, because like kids dream to do what I do, and like and I'm doing it, and I'm very grateful for it.
Absolutely. It's actually beautiful what you said about, kids dream about what I do, because when you think about it, it's not something that just came just like that to you. You worked hard for that.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
A lot of, especially youngsters, they just wanted the result. They don't want to go through the journey.
Yeah.
And I think, your gratefulness at the moment, the gratitude you have at the moment, hasn't just appeared recently. It has been building your journey as well. Yeah.
The journey is more funner than the result.
Yeah.
Like the journey, like, because you can have so many ups, but then you can have so many downs.
Absolutely. So. But on the other side as well, you have that bit when people say, "Oh, I want to be like him." Yeah. They just think about the current result. They don't think about the journey. And they rather, complain. They rather just go and, rationalize things and then blame others and situations. And obviously, being a human being, it's just something that we do automatically. How do you stop that? Because, it must happen sometimes that you already, at the stage that you can start complaining or something, and you stop. Because since I know you, I haven't heard you complaining or anything like that.
Yeah. I think a lot of it is just don't focus on, like, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but don't focus on what you can't control. Like, for me, like, I just want to always just not like get in here and just, like we talked about the other day, the devil and God, like, don't listen to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just always try to stay positive and just keep going. Like, don't listen to that voice inside your head, because it's nothing but negative things, and it's just gonna lead you down to a path that you don't want to go.
Yeah, so. Absolutely. You said about the devil and the angel, and I remembered exactly that chat we had. Well, this brings something that, from the day one when we spoke, I right away felt like your attitude is go get it. Yeah. And even though when you said I will sound like a broken record, repetition is the mother of all skills, and if you repeat over and over and over, maybe somebody will get it and say, absolutely, well, maybe I focus on too many things that I don't control. Right. So, your thoughts. There's obviously a lot of, thinking and, sometimes overthinking before the game or, after the game. It depends if it's win or loss or anything like that. How do you stop that? How do you go by, I don't want to go any deeper to that and start refocusing on the next task?
I can give an example, like here, like when we play a game and like say we lose or win, I will try to just learn from the situation. Mm-hmm. And sometimes like a loss will be longer. I'll like just be thinking about it, like on my mind. That's why I hate that we play probably once a week, because that's like the worst thing when you take a L. But just trying to like learn from it as quick as I possibly can, but learn the right way. Like don't just learn, watch the game, okay. You know,
get into the deeper,
like get into like what's really the problem, what's really the issues, attack those issues, learn from it, and then try to be better next time.
So really it's take action, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because when you work on making commitment to a change, then you take yourself away from that experience, but also taking that experience as a lesson.
Yeah.
Would that be correct?
Yeah, correct, yeah.
We were talking about, earlier on, just before we kickstarted, about the habits and routine and the things like that.
Yeah.
And you, just before you mentioned about, building that habit of becoming better and better. Mm-hmm. So habits and routine, how important they are for you? Let's just bring an example.
No. Habits, routine is very important for me. You want me to tell my?
You can do if you want.
So for me, like a day before the game, every day I usually wake up, listen to gospel music, play a couple like albums or whatever. I don't know, something about that just keeps my spirit. Like I wake up real happy when I do that. But on game days, I really emphasize it and really like listen longer, like probably like an hour. Just wake up, make some breakfast. Then like play the game, depending where, if we at home or road, like it's different, but really the same thing. I always got to make sure I have my headphones. We had an AirPod situation. But yeah, I have like a playlist I'll listen to every game, same songs. It's like probably 150 songs in it. I make sure I listen to all songs.
Really?
All songs.
Okay.
So like probably 3-4 hours before the game, I have my headphones on. Like you see a different like me before and after I listen to music. Like those songs, I don't know why, they just have me super locked in with the game. I'm just ready to like go kill, like, and just do the best I can.
Yeah, because quite often I experience you doing some shots like as a warm up, and I was there just to do like a pick and roll for you and things like this. So it seemed like there's no way that during that time anyone can chat to you because you're so much focused and zoned in as well.
Yeah, I be trying to tell the young boys like, hey, like let me just, you know what I'm saying, because they always be trying to talk and stuff, but I understand like, they want to talk and stuff before the game. It's a natural thing to do. But yeah, my routine is very, very big. Like I really do the same workout. You know what my workout is. Like I just feel comfortable. I feel like, get a perfect sweat, not too crazy, and just really go in the locker room like 30-35 minutes before the game. Just continue listening to music, but really calm my heart rate down and stuff like that, because the music be like, it's on shuffle, but like most of the songs like have my heart rate going, like get me that good sweat, and just go back and just calm down, drink Gatorade, drink water, eat a banana. So
speaking about that, how superstitious you are then?
I want to say probably a lot, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
The reason I'm asking is just because when somebody has, and you just produced a hefty, let's just say, a routine or a habit you have, either before the game or during the warm-up process, and it always brings me back to memory. I had a friend in my wrestling team that he always had red socks for the competition. Yeah. And he was like, going after the championships all the time. He was one of the best wrestlers in his weight class. And one competition, he forgot the red socks. So he was so much into that he forgot them, and he's not going to be able to perform. And in some stage, that was when I was younger, so I couldn't understand the mentality and how that can affect him. Yeah. But he actually managed in a literally moment to convince himself that he's not going to be able to perform and he's not good enough to perform.
Yeah.
Do you believe in things like this?
I don't, because like my routine is my routine, and like I do feel better when I do it to play, but like this basketball, it was basically my first love, you know. So like just having thoughts where like I can't play if I don't do a routine, I can't play the game I love good. It's not an issue. Like it's non-existent.
So you prioritize the sort of the passion, the drive to the game, more than anything that sort of can find you out of your routine for even a moment.
Sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
See, this is very powerful, because a lot of guys, and as I said, that example, I've met different athletes in my career path, and one thing could have been enough to break their whole confidence even, which is quite a heavy stuff, isn't it? Because confidence is a value that we hold. It's a part of us, if that makes sense.
For sure.
Speaking about that, at the very beginning you said about the other family that help you to grow and things like this, and obviously we were talking about the values, the process. What's the number one value that you follow?
Just like a saying or something like that?
Some people will say respect or family or anything like that. What's the number one value that Tyler Cheese would say, this is something you cannot break, and this is something...
My relationship with God.
Okay, can be.
I have 4 values that I like have a pecking order.
Love it.
Like have God first, basketball,
okay,
family, myself.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the reason why I say it in that order, because like I said, basketball is my first love. Family is family, but basketball is like my first love. Like,
so do you know the importance of the order? Do you understand it? Is it something that you...
Because basketball is it's my love, it's my income. It helped me take care of my family. So without basketball, I wouldn't be able to do the things I do for my mom, for my brother's kids, for my little sister. So that's why I have it in that order. If I didn't have it in that order, my family would come second. Regardless, I would come last. So I just put basketball before family because of that reason. Like, first love, and it's the way that I help take care of them.
What would be the reason then you put yourself as a last in that particular order?
Because at the end of the day, like, I'm still gonna take care of myself, but I know like if like I'm not really big with like materialistic type stuff or like things like that where like I need stuff or anything like that. So if I had money and my family needed something, money is just something like, it's not really important to me. It's good to have money, of course, but I would want to take care of my family, because I know when you do good things, you get your blessings back. So that money can easily be replaced.
I love that, and this is one of the first times I've heard somebody having an order in the values, because I know the importance when you place things in order, because the values I follow is authenticity. So no matter what, be yourself, because if you play basketball, if you're a mind coach, if you're a businessman or whatever, be yourself. Don't try to copy somebody else. You're unique enough to be just yourself. The second one is attention. So always see that detail that can make a huge difference for you. And coming back to your routine, the little thing could make a huge difference. The third one is awareness, because a lot of people don't spend the time to build self-awareness, and I think we just lose a lot by not doing it. The fourth value, because I have 5, so fourth value is aspire. So again, coming back to being grateful, I always go, okay, I'm grateful where I am, what I have, and who I am, right, and where I am, but I still want more, and that allows me to be driven to become better and grow again. And the last one is aim, and this is the sort of question I want to reach with my last value, because aim is a target, is a goal. So, do you have a goal still within your career, or where you want to be, short term, long term, and how you go about the goals?
Yeah, I want to, obviously, I want my main goal was to play in the NBA. I felt I could have did that, but COVID happened. I can't sit around and pout about it, so I had to reshape. Obviously, I had a bad first year, so my career is on a backtrack now, where I'm trying to rebuild my brand, I would say. So at this point, just getting the end goal is the NBA, but I got steps to get there. I want to play Champions League. I want to play Euro Cup. I want to eventually try to play in the Euro League, and then the NBA. To do those things, I feel like I have to keep performing at a high level, but also I'm at that point now where I just want to win. Because to get to those type of things, you need to win. They don't really care about stats. Stats is good, but if you got stats and you don't win, it's kind of pointless.
Yeah, because it's how your stats and your performance affect the team performance. So it's really important, isn't it?
Yeah, so that's my goals as far as basketball. Yeah.
You've sort of answered my next question, and the next question was about, would you rather try to measure your progress and focus on the progress, or take one-off success?
Say it again?
So would you rather have your attention and focus on progress, so keep growing, and eventually, achieving your goal, or just have one-off success, so getting it, doing it, and that's it?
Nah, I like the journey. Oh my God, I like the journey, because it feels better when you earn things, and I feel like when you just want to skip, you want a handout. You don't want to experience the things. You don't want the ups and downs. I have this thing where you have to take everything a day at a time. I live by the day, and just try to do the most I can that day, to enjoy life and whatever what you believe in. But yeah, I would rather go day by day to achieve my goals. And if I don't, I don't. But at least I'm trying. So.
Have you ever heard what is the number one fear that stops people from achieving the results?
No, I haven't.
Success.
Yeah.
People are fear of success.
Yeah.
And the reason saying that is because every time they go after something, they sort of give up at the very last moment when they literally close to achieving it. And I've reached out to certain, ways of studying people, and one of the things that I brought to my attention all the time was the reason there's a fear of success is because literally within a split second you lose all your excuses.
Yeah.
There's an attention on you. There's a light on you. You're in center of universe at the one stage. Yeah. How do you take success? Do you think it's something that is let's just say, the stop, so the last episode, or there's something else afterwards?
How to take success? I think I have a different view of how I see success, because I'm a person that doesn't I don't really too much dive into when I'm having successful periods, because I'm always just trying to get to my end goal, but not just focusing on the end goal, but the process, like I said. So I don't know. I look at that different. I don't know.
Well, you said obviously already a few times, and I really enjoy it that you're so much enjoying the process and the journey.
Yeah.
Do you plan? Do you have like a
Yeah,
plan?
but for me, I'm a terrible planner. Like when I plan things, like and I have like cause I used to do that all the time. Like I used to have a journal. I used to have like put papers on my wall and say this, I want to do this, I want to do this. On my phone right now, I have like my 5-year plan, my 10-year plan and stuff. I try not to look at it anymore and just actually just try to do it.
Yeah, but you already planted a seed by even writing it, because that came from your obviously subconscious mind. It hit your ideas, so your thought and your conscious mind, and you put it down as an action. So you planted a seed, so you don't have to look at it. It's like a lot of times, we forget that you don't have to stand and look at your goal 24/7.
Yeah.
Let it grow. Let it just just start. Spreading the leaves and things like this. But, it's still good that you're doing it. So, you don't have to think about it all the time. Now, this comes to the point, how important, how good are you with making decisions? Because decisions are important, especially when you need to stick to something. And a lot of people make a decision, and instead of committing to that and staying to the very last moment, they keep changing it at the first sign of challenge. We discussed the challenges before. Yeah. How good are your decision-making skills?
I would say it's got better. Like I told you, I had to start really making my decisions young age.
Early, yeah.
So early it was a lot of indecisiveness where like I'll make a decision, then I'll like regret it, or like, just not really believing in it, I would say. So as I got older, more wiser, more mature, more confident, I'll double down and I stand on like my decisions that I make now. So as long as I do that, I feel good about my decisions.
Yeah. Motivation. Motivation doesn't last long, and you probably experienced that from your life as well. You have the motivation is a starting point, but it gets to the certain level and then it just dissolves.
Yeah.
So how do you keep yourself motivated? And the moment it just disappears, what do you do next?
I would say this. My motivation is I started with nothing. Because my mom was given a bad hand, so we didn't get a good hand. So everything that I have now, I truly had to work for. And I want to get married, I want to have kids one day. So that just puts like extra motivation, just knowing the things that I want, the plans that I have. It just continues my motivation, where like my motivation never runs out. And then obviously this is my love, so it's like something that won't go away from me. Like my motivation is always super high, and yeah.
It just reminds me what you just said about, I had nothing and I know what I want. So it just drawing yourself a path. But on the other side, I always said this, I didn't have a bad childhood, and we even discussed that, on Saturday. And, I had to find a motivation different way. I had to understand the motivation. But for me, I remember back in, again, 2009, when I reached to the, mindset for the first time, to coaching and things like this for the first time. My first mentor said to me, what do you want to do? What do you want to accomplish in your life? And I said, well, I think I need to have a sleep for that to get back to you to answer. Yeah. So next day I woke up and I said, you know what? I want to leave a legacy. Because one day I might not be here anymore in this world, but I want to leave something behind. Have you ever thought about anything like that? Have you ever thought about, Tyler Chi's legacy or anything like that?
I would say like part of that is like what I just said, like getting married, having kids. I want my kids to be my legacy. You know what I'm saying? Like for me, like playing basketball is enough. You know, like whether you follow me or you don't, like I really enjoy my life. I enjoy everything I do. So I feel like what I'm doing now is my legacy. You know, I truly feel like God put me on this earth to be the basketball player. You know, and like when I go home, I pay my dues. Like I can call up all my little homies that like come hoop with me, come train with me and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure like they all look up to me.
Yeah.
So like for me that means more than anything. Like, you know, just knowing that like I have people that look up to me that tell me to keep going, that we watch you, like, you know what I'm saying, we trying to do what you do.
Man, I have a goosebumps. Like I love it. It's you know it's quite often we so complicate things, but what you say and it's so simple, but also so
deep.
So deep. Exactly. Yeah, I love it. I have a shivers and the goosebumps everywhere. Like it's just crazy. Well, coming back to that, I fully agree. Having kids, you know, sort of, you know, sharing the whole experience, you know, with them and to them, to be able to help them to become somebody great in their life is important. But there's one question, as you were saying about your legacy, just came up, because to be able to get to that point that you feel that you have a legacy, you have to keep going and focus on quite important thing, persistence. You know, you've had challenges at the early stage. Then you started your basketball career. You've been away from home for you know, certain years. Now, it doesn't mean you don't have challenges. What keeps you persistent with what you do?
I still have the same challenges to me. Like my mom still stays in a similar house like we grew up in, still struggling. My brother, he has 4 kids. He struggles. I struggle. You know, like for me, my challenges are still like challenges. Like I'm not where I want to be, nearly. You know, so yeah, like.
But some people will look at it and go, "I have enough. You know, I just give up."
Yeah.
So how you keep yourself persistent just to keep going? And again, it comes back to probably you love the journey.
Yeah.
But again, you know, sometimes you just burn out because that journey takes forever. And when you get challenged.
I don't think I'm gonna burn out with this. Like I said, this is my first love. She ain't never do me wrong. I done had girlfriends, they probably done did me wrong. But I know this basketball I haven't. So I pay my dues to her.
Well, it just the way you said that reminds me. No, in full honesty, it reminds me that there was a video on YouTube. Jesus, I probably watched it about 2 or 3 years ago. Yeah. And it just starts with like Kobe's voice. Well, speaking about Kobe,
RP.
But him writing a letter to basketball, and he starts with "Dear Basketball." It's like a love letter.
Yeah.
And I think when I listen to you as you speak about, you know, your journey and the basketball, you're truly in love with the sport.
Yeah.
Which is beautiful. And you know, it just sparks that passion, you know, which obviously grew a few years back.
Yeah.
But you still have it.
Yeah.
It's just, and
for me, I don't think it'll never go away. Like half of my day consists of basketball, and that's not even just like with the practices.
It's either watching or...
I'm watching, I'm playing video games, I'm talking to my brother. Like my brother, he do like sports betting and stuff like that. We talk basketball. He asks me my opinions on certain things. So like basketball for me is always around, always talked about. Like all my friends, they either play basketball or they love basketball to watch, or, you know. So like, for me, it would never go away. Like the love of it, like it would never go.
So you obviously shared with me during our conversation your plans for the future. Yeah. some of them were still related to basketball, some of them weren't.
Yeah.
But even though you might choose different path, obviously we're talking about future.
Yeah.
How can you still keep yourself within basketball? How are you going to try to do that?
So we talked about the job that I want to get into as a sports, like a athletic director.
Yeah.
As an athletic director, I will always be around basketball because, like I'm the athletic director. Like I'll be over all sports basically. So basketball, I will always make sure I'm at the games, seeing the kids, talking to them. Like
that's an amazing plan.
Yeah, and then like obviously we talked about like me wanting to get in real estate, me wanting to get my own gym, and then just the certain like goals that I had. Those, I might have basketball if I get a gym. I might have basketball players come train at my gym. I can build a relationship with them. We talk about basketball every day probably. Real estate. I might have a basketball player that want to buy a house. Like you never know. Like you never know. And it's crazy. Like when I talk to certain people, I don't even like bringing basketball up, but it always just gravitates in the conversation. So it's like for me, it's never gonna go away. Like it's always gonna be around.
I'm thinking about there's going to be obviously transcription in Polish of this podcast.
Yeah.
And I think the last answer, the last sentence, every second word will be basketball.
No, yeah, hey, they gonna know that I love basketball. They gonna know.
Which I love. This exactly, just like by, again, coming back to what I said earlier on, simplifying things. You just simplified to me the most probably deepest love to the sport I've personally experienced.
Yeah.
So I hope it's not going to be the last time, because I want to hear more people being in love in sport as you are.
Yeah.
And from the day one when I met you, I felt there's that spark in your eye that everywhere and every game and every day you want to basically put that stamp on and just show who Tyler Cheese is.
Yeah, stamp my foot into this basketball world. Like, let people know, like, this name on the back of my jersey has got to be respected in the sport.
Absolutely. Lately you said to me you would like to be that person, that leader. Mm-hmm. And I think, you're obviously growing to that role. Who's leader for you then?
Who's my leader?
No, who's leader for you? Like how would you describe, what's the definition of the leader for you?
For me, like, I would say my type of leadership first.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, of course.
I'm a type of leader where, like, for me to lead, I have to show my leadership by, like, going to the gym, working hard, doing what's necessary, but doing what's unrequired as well. Getting like extra lifts in, like going. So
a bit like being a role model as well.
Yeah,
so
like,
act before you just.
Just because you can't just say I'm a leader, go in there, like bark orders and like expect to be respected. You have to gain the respect. So playing good, doing the unrequired work, having a relationship with your teammates. I think that's a big one. Like you can't lead guys that you don't have a relationship with. Like it don't make sense.
Absolutely.
So. Yeah, just trying to do those things to become a more efficient leader, I would say. Because I would see myself as a leader right now, like, but not the leader that I want to be what our team needs. So.
Yeah. T, we spoke about mentality, and I think you produced one of the most wonderful message across with, the passion. Even if I would have to define this conversation with one word, I would just say passion, because that's what comes out of your mouth. Speaking about this, and I appreciate what you said. How you shared your life story, because it's not always easy to talk about challenges that we go by. And one of the things that I decided to do is with the first book, Wrestling Minds, because you're going to come across quite often that your mind is wrestling, as the angel and the devil.
Yeah.
It's like that. And I think, coming back to our discussion on Saturday, you want to have your book, you want to write it, and I think it's going to be an amazing story. So I just cannot wait until I have a copy. This is your copy, so I cannot wait for my copy of your book.
It tomorrow. Yeah.
So I appreciate your time, and I know together with the same team we can go after the best and beat the best and be the best. So next one is on Wednesday. Yeah. So no matter when you're watching this podcast, our next game is on Wednesday. So T, we have a job to do.
Yep.
And let's wrap it up. Take some time, rest. And again, I appreciate you, man.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time. Thank you for watching it. And this time it was my pleasure again to have Tyler as my guest. And I hope you'll enjoy it. So see you soon. Perform at your peak. Nori Kocharian podcast, especially for you. Be at the moment.